Sorry for being gone yesterday afternoon and today, but I have sick children that need to be taken care of. But even though I'm gone, we're still going to try to continue with the next step of our process in terms of our load essay. So for now, if the substitute could please pass out the outline handouts. If you need to, you can go ahead and pause at this moment. There are some other handouts from yesterday's class if you were gone yesterday for lab. There is a handout that explains the rules and expectations for the assignment, and there's also a conference sheet. If you were gone, please make sure that you get those sheets from the substitute teacher. We have worked through number 3 on the assignment explanation sheet, and right now we're going to start working on number 4. So we are making progress on that, and this sheet would help you understand what it is that we are doing, especially since you were gone yesterday and I'm not there to help explain things to you today. So today we are going to work on creating a formal outline. If you think about our process up to this point, we started with listing the things that we loathe, coming up with a pretty hodgepodgey, list of items that fall into this category. Then, yesterday in class, we went through the process of clustering our ideas, or choosing 1 or 2 ideas, and then clustering and webbing those reasons for why we particularly loathe this object or idea off our list. And we went through and we did this just to force ourselves to really think about what is at the heart of why we loathe, this particular topic. This obviously gives us ideas for our paper. Then, based on the ideas in this web, we worked on the shotgun outline. Now, there's one section yesterday that probably did not get to this because we had a shortened period due to the extended homeroom, but the other classes definitely had time to work on what we would call the shotgun outline. A very simple outline with just the major points for the essay. So these statements on the shotgun outline are not perfect. They will definitely be revised, but this is just your first attempt at clustering some of the ideas on your web together to try to formulate possible topic sentences and topics for possible body paragraphs later on in the future. So as you can see, this shotgun outline has my thesis concept, a draft of my possible thesis statement, and then 3 statements just really summarizing what I think my body paragraphs will be about later on when I perfect this paper. So 3 major points for the essay that will be revised later. Just an opportunity to get those initial ideas down on paper. And so right now, we are actually going to start by taking this whole process a little bit further, a step further, by creating the formal outline. Now, the reason the formal outline is very different from the shotgun outline is because the formal outline is specific. It tells you and the reader of your paper exactly what is going to be in your essay. By completing the formal outline, you are going through the process of considering exactly what your topic sentences are going to be for your body paragraphs and developing examples and subtopics that support those examples for your paper. You're taking the time to think through that ahead of time, ensuring that the information that you are going to be putting in your paper makes sense together and it is effective. It effectively proves your point. And so what I would like you to do is take a look at the handout that you were given, the outline handout that you were given, okay? As you can see, the outline that you have follows a very specific format, okay? When it comes to putting together a formal outline, format is critical, okay? That's really important. And when a reader looks at an outline, when you look at an outline, the main ideas and the examples, major points, all of that should just pop up at the reader. The reader should not have to spend much time looking for that information. It should be there, written clearly, and formatting has a lot to do with that. And so following the rules for the format is very important. So take a look at that sheet that is in front of you, okay? Read it over, okay? As you can see, this explains what my essay about loathing reality TV is really going to be about. The outline that you put together needs to be just as clear. Right? The ideas need to be obvious on here as well. As a reader, I should not have to be looking for those ideas. Okay, and so let's go over the format that we are going to be using. Now, I'm going to go through and just point out a few key areas of this outline, and I'd like you to take some notes regarding this information right on the handout that you were given. And so what I did is I just took a snapshot of the first chunk of the handout that you received. And so let's point out what is important to note about this particular outline. Notice that it does not have a full section for an introduction and a full section for a conclusion. We are not going to go through that process. We will talk about introductions and conclusions separately. All I'm interested in seeing on your outline is a complete thesis statement. That's what our outlines need to begin with. And so you would have that title up at the top and then the thesis statement for your paper, the statement that establishes the focus for the rest of your writing. So it needs to start with a complete thesis statement. This needs to be a complete sentence. Okay? If you take a look at the next step, the next section, I guess, of the outline, we have the Roman numerals. The Roman numerals, in our case, are going to represent the body paragraphs of our essay. So as you can see here, I have Roman numeral 1, 2, 3. It tells me that I'm going to have 3 body paragraphs. And the rest of the information fills in what's going to be in those body paragraphs. So let's see. Next to that Roman numeral, we have this statement. The lack of genuine connections and relationships between actors and reality shows desensitizes us from understanding real human emotions, diminishing us as human beings. This is my topic sentence for my first body paragraph. Notice that this is a complete sentence. That is what you need to have next to your Roman numerals, next to that first section of your body paragraphs, a complete topic sentence. If you take a look at this sentence that I wrote for Roman numeral number 1, and take a look at what I wrote for my first point on my shotgun outline, what I did is I condensed that information from my shotgun outline and reworded the information a little bit, and that became my topic sentence. So I used what I had on my shotgun outline as a starting point, and this is what I ended up with. Okay, let's go on to the next point, some other things you need to know. Okay, so the next section, the capital letters, those are the major points that support the thesis, that support the topic sentence. So I am going to have two major points in this particular body paragraph. I'm going to talk about A, love, and B, trust. Okay. Then we move on to the next section. And the number 1 and the number 2 are the facts and examples that support major points. So what am I going to say about love? I'm going to say that it's a complex emotion. I'm going to say I'm going to say something about numerous random relationships on these shows. To take this a step further, we have the lowercase letters. That is information that elaborates on the facts and examples that support your major point. You use lowercase letters to indicate that. So about numerous random relationships, I'm going to state something about the fact that they demonstrate lust, not love, and they prove human beings are not capable of true love. And then we can divide this outline into yet a more specific section where we have further elaboration on certain topics, facts and examples, and you use little Romans, so little Roman numerals, not uppercase but lowercase, to indicate that. So what am I going to really say about the fact that this proves human beings are not capable of true love? I'm going to say that people engage in numerous relationships and divorce in times of crisis, proving that they don't necessarily understand true love. It's a complex emotion. That's what an outline really needs to look like. You have your Roman numerals for your body paragraphs, the capital letters for the major points for that paragraph. You have the use of numbers for facts and examples that support that major point. You elaborate on those facts and examples through the use of other examples, and you indicate that with lowercase letters, and you can further elaborate, and you use little Romans to indicate that. Now I say format is critical, so there is a little bit more to this. There are a few other rules that you need to keep in mind. Notice that there is very deliberate and specific indenting that is happening in this outline. The reason I gave you a copy of this outline is because you need to follow this example when it comes to indenting the different parts of your outline. As you can see, each more specific point has to be indented a bit further. That is the format that you need to follow. You need to use capital letters at the beginning of every idea. You need to check for the balance of ideas. And what I mean by that is, what I have up in this orange arrow. The general rule of thumb is that if you have a 1 for examples, you must have a 2. Likewise, if you have an A, you must have a B, and so forth. So, if you have a number 1 point, okay, fact or example about your major point, so like what I have about love being a complex emotion, you also have to have a number 2. You have to have 2 different ideas to say about that particular point, major point. So you have to say that it's a complex emotion and something else that defines that topic. So numerous random relationships is my other aspect of this whole topic. The same thing goes for the elaboration. For the lowercase letters A and B, I can't just have A. The rule of thumb is if you go that far, you need to also have a B. So the ideas need to be balanced. That's really what this is referring to. And the rule of thumb is that you have to have at least 2 ideas for support. Okay? So it's either 2 or more or none. As you can see under trust right here. Okay, I did not go into A and B, and that's perfectly fine. But if I had, I would need to have an A and a B. For number 4, you don't need to double space, you just indent correctly, and the information should be clearly visible to me as a reader. And then finally, complete sentences are required for the thesis statement and your topic sentences, so what is in front of the capital Roman numerals only. Everything else needs to be phrases, short words, not complete sentences. Complete sentences only for the thesis and the topic sentences. So what does this mean now? Now that you have some information about what an outline should look like. Well, you have the remainder of this class period to get some work done, okay? In the writing process section of your notebook, you can finish the idea webs if you have not done so yet. You can finish the shotgun outline, okay? Remember, just the major ideas of the essay. You can put that in that writing process section of your notebook. Once you are done with that, and we are all going to be at different parts of this process, go ahead and grab a Chromebook off the cart. When you are done, please make sure that it is plugged in. And I would like you to begin working on developing a formal outline for your essay. Use your shotgun outline as a guide. Refine some of those ideas for your topic sentences. Use the brainstorming web for ideas and examples. When you are all done, you should put the outline in your assigned writings folder. The outline itself is due for Friday. You don't need to start putting together the actual paper, just the outline is due on Friday. I would love it if you could print a copy, but if you have it on the computer, that would be fine, but a printed copy would be ideal. And so, use the rest of this class period to really figure out what you are going to say in this essay about the object or thing that you loathe. See you guys on Thursday and Friday. Bye.